Mr. Artes, have you had any dialogue with those two groups na may defund or protest group?
Wala pa po, pero kami po ay nakikipag-ugnayan naman doon sa mga hindi kasama sa protesta. Dahil mas importante po yung para malaman kung ano po yung posibleng mga ruta na maapektuhan. Kung saan pinipring position po natin yung ating pong augmentation. Dahil unang-una hindi po natin indiscriminately dinidispatch yung mga libreng sakay dahil makakaagaw po ito noong mga hindi sumasama sa protesta o sa piping pasada na kung gagawin po natin yun, mawawalan po sila ng kita. So, kaya po ito ay mga sasakyan ito ay pinipring position naman po natin kung saan po maaaring magkaroon ng disruption sa public transport.
Thank you. Tuesday New. Microphone po ba?
Hello po, good morning po. Susugan ko lang po yung kay Harley kanina pagkama niyo matutukoy kung yung jeep na pumapasada ay nakapag-consolidate na at legal na bumabiyahe doon sa mga jeep na bawal lang pumasada. Sabi niyo magdadala ng kopya ng application nila at saka yung sa application nila sa consultation. Pero mahirap yatang gawin na kaparahin mo yung jeep habang siya pumapasada para hanapan mo ng papel. So, anong sistema po ang ipatutupad ninyo na agaran para mag-distinguish kung yun ba ay nagpa-consolidate o hindi? Hindi naman po pwede natin parahin bawat jeep, hindi mo ba?
Tayo ho ay nakikipag-ugnayan sa LTO because the enforcement po on the road will be done by our LTO po, no? Hindi po sa LTFOB. Pangalawa ho, we've also been coordinating po with MMDA para rin ho ma-inform din po ang ating mga LGUs. LTFRB will be posting po the list of routes in our website for reference din po ng ating mga LGUs on the ground so that they know kung sino po yung mga, ano po ang mga rota na may mga consolidated entities. This way, initially, you can weed out po yung mga, those that have not consolidated. But again po, tama ho kayo, mahirap po talaga. That's why we're coordinating po with LTO on how to do and how to implement this on the ground.
Yeah, magdadagdag lang po ako ng kaya nga po binigyan natin ng isang buwan na due process po yung mga operators na hindi na po papayagang pumasada. Binigyan po natin sila ng pangkakataon, proseso para po kusa na po tayong sumunod sa batas o sa pag-isa mo kung wala na for us to prevent any situation po starting February 1. Kung napapansin niyo po yung DOTR family, we are very careful with our words, we are very careful in our handling because alam natin emotional po ang sitwasyon natin ngayon. That's why ang mga pinaparating po namin ngayon ay solusyon, programa para po sundin natin yung batas and we would like to assure na yung decision po ang hindi pagpapagsalitate was a business decision po in a way na mga operators. Decision po nila yun, wala po tayong magagawa doon. Ang focus natin ng gobyerno are the drivers. Yung drivers po natin, wala silang decision ng operator. Kung ayaw ng operator, wala silang trabaho. That's why ang focus po ng DOTR ngayon is to help the drivers para po sila bigyan ng pag-asang lumukat sa mga kooperatiba o kooperasyon para magkatrabaho at tuloy ang trabaho, tuloy ang kanilang paghanap buhay. So, yun po yung approach ng DOTR.
Thank you. Jean Mangalos.
Good morning. You recently debunked that there won't be a 50 peso surge in fares. So can you please clarify, is it possible na magkaka-surge fare na and how much would it be?
Yeah. Yung tungkol po sa sabi nila 30, 40, 50 pesos in 5 years, wala pong basehan yun. 6 years ago, nung nagsimula ang modernization, ang isang traditional jeep ay naniningil ng 9 pesos minimum fare. May modern chip na po noon 6 years ago, ang singil po noon was 11 pesos. So there was a 2 peso difference between traditional and modern. Fast forward 6 years, last year, 2023, ang traditional minimum fare was 30 pesos. Ang modern, 50 pesos, which is still at present. So yung dalawang pesong difference ng traditional at modern ay hindi nagbago. But if you look at the percentage, mas bumaba pa nga from 9 to 11, 13 to 15. Ngayon ang sinasabi nila in 5 years, maging 30, 40, 50. Anong basehan nun? Wala. Ang basehan lamang po ng fare is about fuel increase, yung crudo. And function po yan ng LTFRB, pinakikinggan po niya ang mga commuters, ang mga transport sector, umaabot pa po sa NEDA, at dumarating po ang kanilang desisyon. So yung basihan po, or sinasabi po nilang 50 pesos, totally has no basis.
Hindi ko nakikita na mag-maintain sa 15 pesos yung fare for LGU.
We'd like to clarify that the determination, what is LTFRB that's mandated to set the minimum fare and the succeeding kilometers. We have to consider that coming up with that decision is not only an LTFRB responsibility. Kaya po we have to coordinate with NEDA because we all know that transport costs would have that effect even in terms of inflation po. That's why we're very careful in determining fares, and we have to really seek guidance din po with NEDA so that we'll have a holistic approach po, because hindi ko namin kaya from LTFRB na kami lang po yung nagde-determine. And in the past years, in determining po transport fares and adjustment whether itaas or ibaba ho ito, it's but a large portion of that would come from any fuel adjustments na po. So right now, yung sinasabing in 5 years, as mentioned po ni Chair Annie, wala ko talagang basihan because we're still looking into it. And again, if I may emphasize, with the proper guidance din po na binibigay sa amin na nito.
Yung pagbili po mismo ng jeep, yung expenses pa rin po ng parking driver, which will be passed down to the commuter. So,
Na-explain po, let's, hindi ho drivers kasi ang magbabayad ho. Hindi ho drivers ang maglolo. In fact, other consolidated entity, there are already cooperatives or corporations. Mas na-institutionalize po natin yung employer-employee relationship between the cooperatives and their drivers. So si driver po, salary-based po siya. So hindi po siya ang mamumroblema ng pagbabayad po ng loan. Okay?
Alvin Baltasar, Radyo Pilipinas.
Sir, pwede mong balitin kung ano yung possible sanction doon sa mga traditional jeepneys na hindi napag-register sa consolidation. Nag-double pounding.
Pwede ng boses.
Dalawa pong tinitignan mo natin. As I mentioned po early on, doon po sa mga nakarehistro for 2020, ilan na lang po dito, less than 1,000
Sam.
ang hindi po nag-consolidate. So dalawa mong titignan, kayo po ba ay hindi lang po yung usapin whether you apply for consolidation or not, but it's basic po, are you registered for the current year or not? But that's one thing. Siyempre mo, we all know, if you're not registered for the year, then you're not supposed to fly the route, di po ba? So, kaya as I mentioned earlier, we have to coordinate po, and we are coordinating with LTO on this. Kasi po, for LTO din, ang tinitignan ho nila would be the registration of the unit, if they are currently registered or not. Yun po ang tinitignan natin. Because nga po, as I mentioned, at least for NCR, there's only less than 1,000 registered vehicles that have not been consolidated.